So, I'm not trying to brag here, but I've been to the Masters 3 times now, and I've spent the last 3 and a bit years since I first went in 2015 waxing lyrical about it to my friends and family who all have a common interest in golf. And I don't think that I've been exaggerating in saying that Augusta and the Masters offers the best live viewing experience golf has to offer. It does. As a golf fan, it's a truly special experience to walk the world's most famous golf course, seeing Amen Corner in the flesh, watching Tiger make eagle, birdie, eagle in the 3 holes I followed him for in 2018, attending the par 3 tournament to see Nicholas, Watson and Player all playing in the same 3-ball. In just 3 visits, the memories are many. And thanks to the ingenious and well-respected tradition of the Masters chair, yours for just $30. You get to see more golf in first person at the Masters than at any other event I've ever attended, and that's part of what makes it such a special tournament to attend as a patron. So, is the Masters still the #1 golf event I would recommend to people looking for a bucket list golf holiday? Honestly, I actually really don't know the answer to that question. Now, it's probably really easy for me to say that right now. I'm kind of still riding on my Ryder Cup high, and I definitely had my enjoyment of the event heightened by the fact that it was a home Ryder Cup. And as a European, I very much felt like I was part of a team effort, which sounds kind of strange, but I suppose that's one of the coolest things about going to the Ryder Cup, and particularly a home one. It's kind of like a football match atmosphere, and you feel very much like the 12th man, or 13th man in this case, for the Ryder Cup. Everyone's pulling in the same direction, and while I definitely think fans can play a tiny little part in getting their team over the line at the Ryder Cup, because the split is so uneven, you do very much feel like you're part of a collective effort. And you don't get that at any other golf tournament really, where understandably all golf fans kind of just rooting for their favourite player. At the Ryder Cup, fans are pulling one of 2 ways. And at a home Ryder Cup, 90% of people at the event are hoping for the same outcome as you. Admittedly then, being a fan, let's say, at Whistling Straits in 2020 as a European, I'm not sure it would be as much fun as Le Golf National was for me. I'd definitely love to go, I'm not saying I wouldn't, but I mean, for instance, there were 7,000 people in the grandstand behind the first tee. And on the Sunday singles, the day I went into the golf, I would guess literally 6,900 of them were European fans. So every time the American fans did start Team USA chants, they were immediately shut down by the European contingent, and I doubt very much that those Americans had quite as much fun as we did. And as I said, it will be the same for us Europeans in Whistling Straits in 2 years' time. So while I definitely want to go to Whistling Straits and experience that thing of being the minority and trying to go up against the might of, let's say, the European crowd at Le Golf National and what it's going to be like in America in 2 years' time, what I can say is that I will 100% be going to Rome in 2022. Hello. Hello. So, coming with me on this trip, so I don't have to do too much social media posting, my colleague George. Say hello. Hello. So, your very first live golf event was the Ryder Cup?
Yeah.
Not a bad place to start.
No, very good.
Rate it 10 out of 10 for me. No,
it would be 10 out of 10, definitely.
You said 11 earlier.
Well, sticking to the rules, but yeah, it was amazing. It was incredible. It's one of them things where like you look forward to something, you have expectations. It's met everything from the weather to the golf to winning to the party afterwards. It was just wicked.
And we did win. So there is no getting away from the fact that you see less action at a Ryder Cup. That is just a fact. And basically that is just the nature of the Ryder Cup beast. If you think about it, in comparison to the Masters, where Thursday, Friday you've got over 100 golfers in the field, I think, and you're given time, lots of them are going to be on the course. At the Ryder Cup, Friday and Saturday, maximum 16 golfers on the course at any one time. Obviously matches finish early and they don't exactly play through to the 18th when they do finish. So, and then Sunday singles, of course, you've got a maximum 24 golfers on the course. So the golf is much more bunched up. There are much fewer players at the Ryder Cup in comparison to a normal tour event, and of course the Masters. So Masters definitely wins on that front. You're going to see a huge amount more golf being played. And I definitely used to be someone who bought into the idea that maybe the Ryder Cup wasn't worth going to. That's a bit extreme because you didn't see so much golf, but I know now from my day at Augusta National on the Sunday that if you simplify your day, you can definitely see plenty of action. As I said, we went into the golf on the Sunday singles and we basically split our day into 3 separate sections. We headed to the course about 2.5 hours before the first tee time to get a spot on that first tee grandstand. As I said, 7,000 fans in that, so you definitely need to get there early to get a spot there. And they had a really clever system whereby you went in, you got a wristband, and if you wanted to go out to get a drink, get some food, use the toilets, etc, etc, you had 30 minutes to do that. If you weren't back within your 30 minutes, they'd let other people onto the grandstand, so there was a flow of people. But if you were one of the people who got there early enough and made that commitment, and you stuck to that 30-minute rule, you could save your seat for as long as you wanted, pretty much. And we stayed there and watched the first 8 or 9 matches go out, obviously soaking up the atmosphere from when we arrived really early, watching the grandstand slowly fill, the chants were going, the thunderclaps were going, and then when the players were coming out onto that first tee, the atmosphere was just electric, hairs standing up on the back of your neck type stuff. Just an absolute must for anyone heading to the Ryder Cup. Make the extra effort to get to that first tee grandstand if you can. From there, we basically made a decision to then head to another spot on the course and just stay there until the culmination of the matches. And a few of my friends think, let's go to 18, let's go to 18. And I was like, come on guys, most matches will be finished long before then, so let's not do that. And we all decided then just to sit by the 16th green, and that was just an amazing decision. And it was actually someone else's idea to pick that certain hole, but thank you very much, you know who you are, because we got to see not just the culmination of key matches, but other matches which went a bit further than that, getting to that point where it was obvious what was going to happen. Like Sergio gave himself a little fist bump when he saw on the giant screen behind us that another European match had gone our way, and he knew that at that point, if he could finish off the match, he was basically going to put Europe within a point of getting the Ryder Cup. We were also there for Mickelson's splash ball, which obviously he hit his tee shot on the 16th, a little bit short of the green, and that basically ended it. He conceded to Molinari, and that was that done. So we witnessed lots of golf, both on the first tee and then on the 16th green. And then what we did from there, we hightailed it back to the tented village, because we knew that place was going to be filling up with people looking to get their hands on a few beers. Once we were back in the tented village, of course, it was absolute party time. Europe had just won the Ryder Cup. It took us about 20 minutes to walk from the 16th back to tented village. Got a couple of rounds of beers in, watching the culmination of the other matches up on the big screens. Noren's massive putt to win his match. It was just a brilliant way to wind down a day on the course, just surrounded by Team Europe fans, all of us obviously absolutely euphoric at the final score. So yeah, as I said, if you really simplify your time at the Ryder Cup and not try to get too greedy with hitting certain holes on the course, just pick 2 or 3 locations, wait for the matches to come through and unfold in front of you, you're definitely going to get more out of your day than if you just scattergun approach it and potentially miss out on some key moments of the Ryder Cup. But yeah, I'm heading home now. It's been a long day and I'm going to wrap up this video when I get there. Right, so you know that thing where you're halfway through a film project on Premiere Pro and your computer decides to upload loads of clips and pictures and sound bites and sound effects to your iCloud. So yeah, I'm gonna have to spend the next 10 or 15 minutes re-downloading everything before I can finish this video off. Love modern technology sometimes. Right, that's all done. Everything's re-downloaded. That wasn't annoying at all. So As some of you guys will know, we took over 1,000 guests out to the Ryder Cup this year, and as with any event that we try to do, whether it's the Ryder Cup, the Masters, the Open, the Solheim Cup next year, just the British Masters, stuff like that, we always try and give our guests obviously the best possible experience in terms of an efficient service, good customer service, etc, etc, but we like to add as much as we can to the experience too. So this time around in Paris we had a group of clients heading out to France business class on the Eurostar with former captain Woosnam hosting them on the way out. He also did a Q&A on one of the parties we threw. We had Paul McGinley turning up to another party we threw. So all these little added extras that our clients can benefit from to make their bucket list Ryder Cup Masters holidays all the more special. I've already posted the video of Woozy coming out on the Eurostar with us and Paul McGinley's Q&A, links from the description down there if you've missed them. But I've also got some leftover footage of Woozy's Q&A, and he'd had a few gin and tonics, so he was on good form. So we're going to go back to Paris in a bit. We're also going to catch up with some clients and get their thoughts about what they experienced at the Ryder Cup, how good it was for them as spectators. So before we go back to Paris for the end of this video, I'm just going to try and sum up what I think of the Ryder Cup versus the Masters and my experience in Augusta National this year. So my first experience of the Ryder Cup live at the event was in 2002 at the Belfry. I think I was probably too young to understand the importance of what I was watching, and I was definitely too small to see a lot when I was kind of 4 or 5 people deep on the ropes trying to look over the shoulders of adults. And since going to Augusta for the first time in 2015, as I've hinted at in this video, I have definitely been advocating the Masters being by far and away the better event to go to, and it is absolutely brilliant. It offers a lot which no other event in the world can, but I was definitely proven wrong in France. I didn't expect to enjoy the Ryder Cup as much as I did. Obviously I was looking forward to it and I was lucky to have been able to go out as part of my job. But that Sunday at the Golf National is the best day I've ever had on a golf course in terms of fun. I was there at the crack of dawn, didn't leave until probably 8 o'clock in the evening, had a few beers as you can probably guess. But in terms of atmosphere, the feeling of camaraderie with the other European fans, the drama, obviously the result went in our favour, so that's a consideration as well. But I can honestly say I've never had more fun on a golf course, whether that's playing or spectating. So I guess it all depends on what you want from the event. I would basically recommend going to both. If I had to choose one over the other, I probably couldn't. So I guess that's a bit of a crap conclusion really. They're both, yeah, Ryder Cup and the Masters are both awesome. Who knew, right? But I guess the message to take from this video is, if I'm saying something is as good, if not arguably better than the Masters, having been there 3 times and how much I love that place, it's obviously pretty good. Anyway, shall we head back to Paris and catch up with Woozy and some action from the party and talk to some clients, because I've rambled on a bit here, but yeah, let's go back to Paris. Guys, bit of a funny day. So I had the afternoon at the golf course, watched Europe's amazing comeback, absolutely awesome. Back at another YGT party, which we're obviously hosting with our clients. We had Woosnam here doing a Q&A, and I just bumped into a couple of people who watched the vlogs and met Mark and Lockie earlier. We've got Kevin and Jake. I can't believe I just remembered 2 names. That's incredible.
Yeah, you did well.
So, how was your day at the Ryder Cup?
Wow.
You were there all day, presumably?
Yeah, we're there. 5 AM start.
Jesus, that's why I wasn't there probably.
Yeah. I think, obviously, saw 24 of the best players in the world play, but it was really strange going out in pitch black, running across the course trying to get to the first tee.
Yeah, yeah.
And then seeing like 20,000 people all doing the Iceland Thunder. thunderclap.
Oh, the thunderclap, yeah.
At 5, well, probably about 6 AM by the time we got there.
But have you done a Ryder Cup before?
Never.
But presumably you might have been to other tour events, maybe?
The Open.
Yeah.
Been to the Open. Been to Wentworth a couple of times. So seen Rory.
And how different is it? I mean, it's a different beast altogether, isn't it?
Completely different. Yeah. So been to the Pro-Am at Wentworth. Been to Wentworth before the Open. Very spread out. Obviously you've got 80 to 100 players. Now you've got 24 all concentrated. The atmosphere is second to none. I know. I think. Yeah. I heard a couple. Poulter actually said Sunday on a major doesn't compare to the Ryder Cup.
Yeah.
Completely understand it now.
And another question for you, Kevin. Highlight of the day? I mean, apart from the party, obviously.
Highlight of the day. I've got a few. Can I give a few?
Yeah.
Okay. So obviously one was meeting some of my favourite vlog celebrities,
YouTube sensations.
Mark, yourself.
They're not all that.
And Coach Lockie. I mean, that was pretty cool. But there was a time when Ram got a birdie on, I think it was the 8th.
Yeah.
And seeing his emotion was like brilliant. We were also behind Fleetwood when he got a putt to win the hole on the 16th. And seeing that emotion again was amazing. Yeah. And we were stood behind some American guys giving Rory a bit of flack on 6th.
Yeah.
And he turned around and he looked straight at the American guys who we were behind and just shushed them, and it was like he was telling me to shush. I was like, I've not done anything.
It wasn't me, it wasn't me.
I'm supporting you. But yeah, I think just seeing the emotion in the players, like when they were like winning, and just seeing them come from was it 3-1 down to 5-3,
yeah.
5-3 up, you know, just
Whitewashes don't happen very often.
I mean, for me that was special. That was
it
amazing.
wasn't really even close. In a couple of matches, it was like, this is over pretty soon.
Well, we got to the grandstands behind the 18th, so you could see the 16th hole, the 17th hole, and the 18th hole. But it was wasted because it was all like.
Didn't even touch the 17th.
Yeah.
All the handshakes were 16, 16, 14.
Yeah.
Well, we've now got Woozy going to do a Q&A. I'm sure there's going to be some funny stories told. He's a good lad. I met him yesterday, really down-to-earth guy. Should we go in and check it out?
Let's do it.
Let's go.
You enjoy yourself today?
Yeah, good.
Yeah?
You take a picture with me and Mike.
Yeah.
Mike, come on here, get in the photo. Come on. These are our boys.
Look at us on our
Well-researched professionals here.
You know, when SEVE was a captain, he did everything behind his closed doors, kept it on his chest. For me anyway, he kept it away from me definitely. I didn't get on with him very well, so I'll let you know that, because he said to me, Woozy, if you don't stop drinking, you've got to stop drinking. This is Monday, I've only just got it, we don't start till Friday. So I believe in when you're playing golf, you do what you did. I'm not going to jeopardize anything to the European team. I do what I do. If I have a couple of beers, that's what makes me play good. I have a couple of beers. If you go to bed at 7 o'clock, it makes you play good. Go to bed at 7 o'clock. That's the way it is.
I think there'll be a bit of a now. He's going to have a bit of a sip of his drink now, so we'll give him a time to do that.
Yeah, no doubt about it, is that, from the day I become the captain, I started writing the pairings every single week, and I changed them how they went on. I rung pretty well everybody when the team was picked, who would they like to play with. So I had a choice of 2-3 players who everybody wanted to play. So who I felt were comfortable with each other. But you know, as I said earlier, I was comfortable with playing with anybody, and I asked my team when I sat them down that everybody should be prepared to play whoever I asked them to play with. Because if they don't, they shouldn't be on the team. If you'd have seen the drive-in this afternoon from the Americans to the Europeans, and that's why we won all 4 this afternoon, because we were much straighter, and that's why the course is set up as it is to catch out the Americans. I've never seen people hit shots out of a rough and it only going, well, I have, because it used to happen when we were youngsters. It only went about 50 yards. I mean, they stayed in the rough, and I quite enjoyed that. No, there is no coincidence going on. It is exactly how the draw goes. Is because if you're leading, you want to go out strong, and you want to end the match as quick as you possibly, and leave a couple at the bottom, just insurance. So the Americans want to put their fast players out quick, because if they can get off to a fast start, then they get the reds on the board. That'll change the board. So it does happen to be like that. So you'll get them top players playing against each other very quickly.
Okay. Front loading is normally the way, isn't it, on Sunday? Ladies and gentlemen, before we do the draw, please say a very, very big thank you to the lovely Woosnam.
Thank you. I'd just like to say to everybody, thank you very much for being on this trip, because it means such a lot, not just to me, but to the all of the European team, for you all to come to support us, Americans and Europeans, because it's a very special week in every 2 years. So hope you're enjoying yourself. Have a great time. We'll do the draw now, and we'll have a few more drinks. Olé!